After the Cultural Revolution, the National Higher Education Entrance Examination system in mainland China was restored. In past 45 years, it has become the most important turning point for mainland students to change their destiny. As time goes by, more questions and discussions have emerged. The first and the most significant thing is public dissatisfaction with the uneven distribution of educational resources and the marginalization of educational opportunities. The meaning of marginalization is about unfairness in comparison with other areas. Some backward districts have insufficient educational resources. Educational resources include the educational infrastructure, teaching materials, teaching team, educational expenditure, and so on. Taking the National Higher Education Entrance Examination rates of various provinces in 2023 as an example, the undergraduate admission rate in Shanghai reached 79%, while the admission rates in Sichuan and Guangxi in the southwest are only 30%. The data is not even half that of Shanghai. This means that in mainland China, millions of candidates are unable to study for undergraduate courses every year due to the imbalance and marginalization of educational resources. The reasons that led to such a disappointing result are as follows. First, morbid education system. China's education model is exam-oriented. All the teaching and learning in China is for students to gain a higher grade and marks. However, such an approach will undoubtedly obliterate their critical thinking and diversity skills and even will lead to a detest of study. Cite the Henshui School as an example. A booming alarm will rouse the pupils at 5:30 a.m. every day, and the teenagers are bound by stifling school rules, including being banned from owning cell phones. It's evident that the exam-oriented mode has brought plenty of obstacles in education circles and is harming students' development. Second, unreasonable difficulty of college entrance examination. In China, there are different entrance exam papers in different districts. Nevertheless, the difficulty of the exam usually cannot match the learning ability of students. For example, Beijing has an abundant teaching level and economic strength. Therefore, students who study in Beijing naturally have outstanding learning ability. However, they just need to complete the simplest exam in China, clearly a fairness issue. Ironically, students with higher ability only need to face less difficult papers, while students with lower ability have to face more difficult papers. Third, different levels of economic development. China is also a country with a large gap between the rich and the poor. Therefore, it leads to a disparity of educational resources in different districts. Teaching environment, atmosphere, and ability are all closely related to the economic development of the city. As a result, the disparity in economic development has also led to the unequal distribution of education resources. But these problems are not insurmountable. There are three proposed solutions. First, make the test fit with the development situation of different places. Every year, the education department can change the complexity of the test and apply it to different places. Second, improve the way to educate and assess students in more comprehensive methods. Extend the subject and soft skills for students to study and ensure the purpose of education is to make students learn happily and improve instead of only getting good grades on the test. Universities can have more ways such as a special talent to assist the student when deciding to give offer or not. Third, narrow the gap between the rich and poor. The fundamental problem behind the unfairness of education is the difference in economic development. In China, different provinces can have very different situations in economic development. The government should be responsible for helping underdeveloped place or poor family, which ensure that students have enough educational resources.